Okay.
All right.
Okay. So let's just first by just telling us what is dynamite.
Well, the mission of Dynamites is to equip our urban youth to develop physical, academic, social, and spiritual excellence. So we really do whole life youth development with kids in Phillips, Powderhorn, and central neighborhoods of South Minneapolis, and since 2018 on the west side of St. Paul. We do ice hockey, academic support like tutoring, community service and mentorship, and optional faith-based activities when kids are old enough.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how you got connected with Capital City Properties.
Well, we have a former coach who has stayed involved for many, many years. His name's Jay Lindsay, and he's in the corporate real estate world, and he was acquainted with Lee Kruger. And Lee had this dream about this building in the heart of downtown St. Paul, and they knew that they wanted to do the wild practice facility, but also that they wanted this facility to be able to serve the community. And so one thing led to another. Lee was on the phone with Jay Lindsay. Jay Lindsay was on the phone with me, and we had lunch nearby here somewhere, and we toured through an empty building. And Lee said, we really want this project to serve the community, and Dynamite's name has come up several times as an organization that is serving the community, using hockey as a tool to do that. And so we were elated when this opportunity came up, because we talked for a really long time that the model we're using at Dynamites in South Minneapolis since 1995 is transferable. It would work somewhere else. And so we really felt like this was one of those things you just couldn't say no to. Long story short, the building got built, and we established the St. Paul program starting, I think, January 2nd, 2018 was the very first day. As of right now, we've got about 16 mite-age hockey players playing right here on Tria Rink. And very soon, we'll start establishing our tutoring program in the Equity on Ice Center.
So tell us a little bit about what that tutoring is going to look like at the Equity on Ice Center.
Well, there's still some questions left to be answered, but we're going to have our own tutoring center right here in this building. So the Treasure Island Center is the name of the building, Tria Rink is the rink, and the tutoring room is going to be called the Equity on Ice Center. And what's really cool for us, something that we don't have in Minneapolis, is that we're going to be able to do tutoring and hockey in the same place. So one really cool thing that's been going on in Minneapolis is we have an outdoor rink, and it's about 4 or 5 blocks away from the school where we hold tutoring. So for a couple years, on Tuesdays after tutoring, one of our staff members would take a van load of kids down to the rink. Well, it meant that nobody ever missed tutoring because they want to go to the rink afterwards. So we're really excited for the synergy between the academic program and the hockey program to take place here in St. Paul, because we have never had anything like this before. So we hope to have hockey and tutoring in close proximity time-wise to each other, probably on the same days. And so we'll study for an hour, then head up the elevator and play hockey for an hour, or vice versa. Maybe we'll play hockey for an hour and then head down the elevator and do tutoring. But it's really going to provide us a lot of flexibility. Plus, it's going to be a space that's specifically designed for academics. It's not just an empty room where we're going to be bringing buckets in. It's going to be designed for academics. And it's going to have the kind of technology and resources that we need to really help our kids go to a high level academically.
And so tell us about how you see the growth model working. So you have kids that are, already part of the program, but what do you see in 2019, 2020, and beyond? Sort of an impact.
Yeah, well, our hope really is to duplicate what we do in Minneapolis. In Minneapolis, we are serving kids from preschool, like pre-kindergarten, all the way through high school graduation. And so that's really what we're going for over here. And we're dedicated to long-term relationships. And for that to take place, we need to start in the early elementary years. So we held our very first Greg Carroll Learn to Skate sessions right here on Tria Rink last spring. We taught 71 first grade students from Riverview School, which is just over the Wabasha Bridge. It's less than a 5-minute drive from here. We intend to keep that going in the near future. Maybe this year, maybe next year, we hope to add an additional school to that relationship where we're teaching all of their first graders how to ice skate. And that's how we meet new kids. So we hope that we can register about 10% of the kids that are in Learn to Skate. We're being very aggressive right now, trying for a higher number than that in the early years. But in the next probably 2 years, not only do we want to have that might age level of third grade and below, but we want to have the next age level of U10 girls and squirt boys. So we're hoping that by 2021 we'll have something like 25 players that are third grade and below, and then another, let's see, 25 that are between fourth and fifth grade. So we'll have hopefully 50 or so year-round students that are getting mentored and playing in hockey teams and getting tutored. And then we are also hoping that by that time, by 2021, we'd love to have at least 2 schools doing Learn to Skate here, which would be 120 to 150 students.
Perfect. And what is the impact that you anticipate from the tutoring side? So what do you think the educational impact will be?
Well, the impact in Minneapolis has been really, really clear. That since 1995, the overall graduation rate from Minneapolis public schools has been something that hovers around 50%. The impact on the students we serve is really clear to see, because since our inception, the high school graduation rate for our students is 86%. And so that's really what we're hoping to see here in St. Paul, is that we're able to increase the possibility of graduation for all our kids and really create increased access for all of our students, that our students are more likely to know somebody who has a career that they're interested in, that they're exposed to more and more adults that are excited about their future, and just simply even ask them about how's school going, so that they know school's an important thing.
Perfect. I guess I could ask, do you see any synergies that you'll be able to build once you're with the other nonprofits that have some similar connection to the ice?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're really excited to explore that with Police Athletic League and Brown Body. You know, Brown Body, one of the things they do is not just the skating, but there's also sort of a history piece and a justice piece, and we might be able to do something really interesting around that history and the education history, and do some synergy there. With Police Athletic League and Herb Brooks Foundation, we're already partnering with Herb Brooks Foundation in Minneapolis. So continuing that on over here in St. Paul's, this can be really, really natural.
Perfect. And then if we can also just get a headshot of you, we're doing a collage
Okay, cool.
with everyone's picture.
All right.